Hey Queens, welcome to Captivation Radio, a podcast designed to help women learn to love their bodies, transform their mindset, and attract the life of their dreams. I'm your host Fallon, the queen of all things captivation. I'm a certified personal trainer and a confidence and mindset coach. I have a passion for helping women go from mediocrity to queen status. Each week, I will discuss how you can use fitness, mindset, and manifestation to overcome feelings of lack, raise your energy, and finally step into your power and claim the life you deserve. Hey Queens, welcome back to this week's episode of Captivation Radio. Today I am going to talk to you about finding your purpose. I think that everywhere that I look these days, books, social media, everybody is either fighting about politics or talking about how you need to find your purpose and live in your purpose. And if you don't know what that means, it can throw you way off track, right? So let me start with my definition of purpose. Purpose, it can be defined as your ultimate goal. It is the reason behind everything that you do. For me, for example, my purpose is making women feel powerful, to be the best version of themselves, to live the life that they choose. So I work on many different ventures, but in the end, they all point back to this purpose. And this is because I've seen way too many women living lives that they felt like they had to live and not ones that really make them truly happy. I've watched way too many women give their power away just so they can feel lovable. I see women struggling with depression, anxiety, and all kinds of other issues because their entire lives are out of alignment with who they really are. Witnessing all of this and going through it myself at one point has led me to be extremely passionate about helping women through these struggles. So that's kind of a little backstory about purpose. So what I want you to know is, contrary to popular belief, your purpose doesn't just magically come to you while you're making coffee in the morning. It doesn't just hit you over the head like, okay, dude, here, this is your purpose. This is what you're going to do with your life. Now make it work. It's not really how it works. And nor does your purpose have to remain the same your entire life. So your life and your purpose are unique to you, and it develops based on your life experiences. So as you go through different experiences in life, your purpose and your mission are going to change. So you don't have to feel stuck. You don't have to always remain the same person you once identified with. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to change everything, even your purpose. So, how does one find their purpose? Honestly, just through lots of trial and error and a lot of introspection. But that sounds kind of vague, right? Don't worry, I'm going to give you some more steps besides that. One of the big things that I really want you to know is you need to find something that you can commit to even when you don't love it. Because although I love most of what I do, there's always going to be tasks that I would rather not do. But if you decide to be an entrepreneur as part of your purpose, there's going to be a lot of tasks in the beginning that you do yourself that eventually you can source out, but right now you have to be able to deal with doing them. So once you know that, I want you to think about what did you love doing as a child? When we're children, we do things because we love them. We don't do it because we're thinking about what kind of reward we're going to get, what kind of recognition we're going to get. We just do what we feel like doing. And that can give you a great light into what makes your soul happy. It's just thinking about what you would do if you didn't get anything out of it. And I know a lot of women that were amazing artists and writers and performers of all kinds. And then as they grew up, they gave this up because we are told that we need to get a job and be stable and go to work for somebody. And, art is not a career that you can depend on. And you know how it all goes. So by the time we're adults, everything has to be somehow tied to money. At least that's what we're taught. So what I want you to do is think of things that you loved doing as a child and that you've given up. And then try revisiting some of these previous passions and see if you still feel a connection to them. This doesn't have to be like a life or death, like I'm going to quit my job and become an artist because I liked to draw when I was 5. That's not what I mean at all. Like, play with it, see the things that you like, pay attention to what makes you happy, and then go from there. Life is supposed to be fun. I know it can be super easy to forget that, especially lately when everything is crazy, but it really is. Having fun, playing around with things is what makes life worth living. And I'm going to go more into like the things that I gave up and the things I like doing. Maybe in my blog post, but definitely in my book that I'm working on. So the next thing I want you to ask yourself is, what are you doing when you completely forget that time exists? So can you think of a time when you stayed up all night without even thinking about it because you were so enthralled in what you were doing? Things like that are the things that make up your purpose. Because that is what your soul loves. When you can forget time and space and just be completely all in what you're doing, those things are important to pay attention to. Like for me, I love what I do. I can stay up all night creating graphics, writing, planning content, and recording podcast episodes. So for me, that helps show that I am on the right path. And number 3, what scares you a little bit to do? If you can do something with absolutely no fear, then it probably really doesn't mean that much to you. Everything that really matters to us scares us at least a little bit. Because when you value something, you don't want to fail at it. Each time I begin coaching someone, I get a little nervous. And it's not because I don't have confidence in my skills, because I definitely do. But because I want to do my very best. I want every conversation with me to change my client's life. I never want to let anyone down at all because it is so important to me to help people. When you find something that makes you feel the same way, then you're onto something. And then number 4, I want you to ask yourself, what does your ideal day look like? My friend and fellow coach, Carissa, asked this question in a journal prompt in a program that I did of hers last year. And I mapped out exactly the way I wanted my day to be. And this helped me realize what was important to me and what I needed to incorporate into my business structure. And for me, it was really important to collaborate with other women, to have freedom to work from anywhere, and to really be able to balance my work and family life. And realizing how important necessary freedom is to my life helped me choose a path that would work for me. At the time that I had began that course, I was going to be beginning law school again. But when I really looked at what I wanted my life to look like, there's no way that that life and that career could balance each other. I couldn't have freedom and spend my days in court and like still be a full-time mom like I am now. So sometimes you might have multiple things you're passionate about, and you really just have to see what works for your entire life. And now the last thing, I want you to think about what issues are you passionate about? Because although I and a lot of women right now are making our purpose into a career, your purpose does not have to be your career. I know it seems like everywhere you look, everybody is preaching that you have to quit your career and follow your passion. But I'm going to tell you now, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. And you can have a purpose that is not tied to your career. You can volunteer, donate money, or find another way to live in your purpose without making it your career. So, back to the question. What issues are you passionate about? Do you want to end racism, fight domestic violence, save children from sex trafficking? I want you to really pay attention to the things that get you fired up and find a way to incorporate them into your life. Spending a little bit of time or money giving back may be just what you need to have an overall better feeling about your life. I said the last one was the last one, but I have one more. What are you naturally good at? And you don't have to have natural talents to find your purpose, and your purpose might not even be based on your talents, but it's a good place to start because, like I said, finding out what you really want to do is all about playing around and seeing what works and what makes you happy and what lights a fire in your soul. So if you have a knack for words, you might be a great writer. If you like creating art, you may want to be an artist or a graphic designer. And the possibilities these days are really endless. And I know sometimes we get so frustrated with social media and the negativity and all of this that we forget that the age that we live in gives us limitless options of what we do with our time. And that could be for career or free time or side hustles. You can really do absolutely anything you want to, and you can connect with people everywhere in the world. So there's no limits on what you do with your life. It's really all up to you finding out what makes you happy. Not anybody else, just you. So, if there's something you're naturally good at, you can start there and then work on it and see if you like it and if it's making you happy. And if it's not, you can change it. Like I said last week, you're never stuck. You always have a choice. And what you're doing right now might not be what you want to do in 2 years. So you really just have to look inside and see what makes you the happiest. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I will put the show notes on my episode, and then the blog post will be on captivationradio.com. As always, follow me everywhere at Captivation Coach. Let me know if any of this resonated with you. If you have